Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of my Pokemon Battle Series, The School of Hard Knocks. So throughout this episode, like every other, we'll be jumping on to the Pokemon Global Link Battle Spot ladder, playing under the Championship Battle rules, which are the equivalent rule set of the VGC 2017 season. So what we're going to do, guys, I hope everyone's having a great Tuesday, everyone's enjoyed their long weekend, whatever you guys were up to doing. Obviously, it's a big week in the Pokemon world this week because we have the Sao Paulo International Championship this coming weekend. So we've got a lot of our friends going out to compete in that. So anyone that is going out to play in that tournament this weekend, good luck, all the best, and I hope everyone has an amazing time. And we'll definitely be covering some of the results, some of the teams, hopefully, on the channel next week, and we'll have a quick look at how people got on over there. Special shout out to my good friends Ben Kiriakou, Terence Dre, Jimmy Boyd, I'm forgetting a lot of people, Will Tansley, Lou, all you guys going out there, and sorry for anyone particular from my little team building group that I forgot. But all the best. I hope you guys have an absolute blast. But guys, on to today's episode. We are going to continue running our Tapu Lele Driblim team, which we ran last week, ran yesterday, and we'll run for the rest of this week. So see how we get on today with it. Touch wood, things go all to plan. But it's been going alright so far, to be honest. We've had some really good games, and we're slowly creeping up the ladder, so it's nice to see that the team kind of paying off, and there's still a lot of aspects of the team that we haven't really delved into yet, like the Snorlax, for instance, something we haven't really been able to bring that much, but hopefully that changes today. So we have our first opponent of the day. They are running a team of Vanillux, Glaceon, Porygon 2, Arcanine, Tapu Koko, and Garchomp. So straight away, we've got to be very careful of this Vanillux because it could potentially be Choice Scarfed. The Glaceon might even be Choice Specs. So if that's a combination there, it's going to be very difficult for us to kind of maneuver around. And it kind of puts me off bringing my Drifblim, because it's not even with the boost, it's not going to appreciate any blizzards from either of those two, even with the boost. Also, the Tapu Koko kind of puts me off, and the Porygon 2 there is able to just fire off Ice Beams and set up Trick Rooms, potentially. So I think what I'll do is bring my Tapu Lele, I'll lead Arcanine as well, because Arcanine's going to give me that Intimidate support for the Garchomp, the opposing Arcanine, and it's a good offensive type to have against both of those Ice types that my opponent potentially could lead with. So, what else? I wonder if Snorlax is not a bad shout here, to be honest, because if the Trick Room does go up, I'm very tempted to bring Snorlax here. I think I definitely need the Garchomp, because the Garchomp is going to give me nice coverage against the Tapu Koko, like a nice switch in for those electric type attacks, and it gives me a nice option to hit Arcanine as well. Celesteela as well is very good though, but I think we're going to lock in with the Snorlax and go for it. So we'll see how we get on. Like I say, if my opponent does go down the Trick Room route, at least we've got Snorlax we can bring in, start cursing up, recycling, and just causing loads of mischief. So hopefully things go to plan. But then again, the Celesteela would have also been a very good option there, because obviously the Heavy Slam puts on a lot of pressure against both those Ice types. It's got the Leech Seed as well, so it can seed things like Porygon to Garchomp as well. So we'll see what my opponent brings. So my opponent is going to lead off with the Arcanine and the Porygon 2 here. And we've got our Tapu Lele and our Arcanine of our own. So, the only thing that I could think my opponent has, if he wants to set the Trick Room up, is the Vanillux being a very slow variant. So potentially the Arcanine might switch out here into the Vanillux or the Glaceon, but it's very unlikely. But I think just to kind of cover my bases here, what I'm going to do is, I don't really want... do I want a Trick Room going up? Or do I not mind a Trick Room going up, to be honest? My opponent hasn't got the slowest team in the world. So I think, actually, what I'm going to do because this Porygon 2 may be a physical variant, I'm going to go for a Will-O-Wisp into the P2, and I'm just going to go for a Shattered Psyche into the Arcanine, because we should be able to take any attacks that come out from that Arcanine. And anything that comes in, like this Tapu Koko, is going to take a big Shattered Psyche, and we're going to take a massive lead straight away, clearing that from the field. So that does make our lives a lot easier. We do get the Will-O-Wisp off onto this Porygon 2. So if it is a return variant, it's going to mean that we're going to be able to just take those returns a lot easier. And we're not too threatened by any special type attacks that are coming out from it at the moment either. So that might have been the safer option to go down. But we'll see the big Shattered Psyche from my Tapu Lele come out. It should take down this Tapu Koko as long as it's not sashed. But with Hail in the team, I wouldn't have thought it would be. So yeah, Tapu Koko goes down. So that's one Pokemon gone. And we see a Shadow Ball. Okay. So Tapu Lele takes that quite comfortably. It does a decent amount of damage, obviously, as well. And the other thing is, it's nice just to have that kind of chip damage on the Porygon 2 every turn. So let's see what my opponent brings back in. So it is that Arcanine. Now I think what I'm going to do here is just go for a Snarl and bring in my Garchomp. Or should I bring in the Snorlax and we could start cursing up? No, I'm going to bring in the Garchomp right now. And I am just going to go for a Snarl. Just to lower the special attack on that Porygon 2's side. The Snorlax would have been a nice switch in there. If there was a Shadow Ball coming out into that slot again, obviously the Snorlax is immune to it. But my opponent's Arcanine just goes for an Extreme Speed. And that kind of comes across as maybe a banded Arcanine, to be honest. And we see a Thunderbolt come out from the Porygon 2, so it is a special variant. Now if that Arcanine is locked into Extreme Speed, we could kind of get around this quite nicely by switching in our Tapu Lele, which will stop the Extreme Speed. And I think I'll just go for another Snarl, just in case that Arcanine does predict the Tapu Lele coming back in and decides to switch out. And whatever comes in on that slot will catch with a Snarl and be able to reduce its special attack. And then further neuter the Porygon 2 as well. So we do see that Arcanine switch out, and it is the Garchomp to come in. Okay, so we will get the Snarl off. It's not really going to affect the Garchomp too much, but the main thing is it's doing a good job against that P2. We see an Ice Beam come up from the P2 into our Tapu Lele. And I think this might be a good time to bring in the Snorlax. So I think what I might do... Now we should be able to take an Earthquake from that Garchomp, but it's whether we want to take a Shadow Ball and an Earthquake. So I think what I'm going to do is just protect my Tapu Lele this turn. But that Garchomp could go for a Swords Dance. That's the only issue. That's what I don't really want to risk here. So I'm going to go for the Moonblast, and I'm going to switch in my Snorlax for my Arcanine here. We see Poison Jab just from the Garchomp. Okay. So we will go down to that. And we see a Tri-Attack. So we've seen Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt, Ice Beam and Tri-Attack from this Porygon 2. So it hasn't got any recovery and it's just got all out attacks. So, I don't think I'm going to hesitate bringing in my Arcanine right now. Because I want to keep my Arcanine in the back for when my opponent's Arcanine comes back onto the field. Because I want to keep the Intimidate, because it potentially could have close combat, and we need to be able to neuter that if that is going to be something that my opponent is going to utilise. Just going to go for a Dragon Claw into my opponent's Garchomp, and I'm going to start cursing up with my Snorlax. So we see our Dragon Claw come off. Should do decent enough damage to this opposing Garchomp. And we kind of see that we're outspeeding it as well. So if we can get through this turn, then that'll be good. But we see a Tectonic Rage. Probably into the Snorlax here. But it might be into my Garchomp as well. No, it is into the Snorlax. Right, this should just proc our berry. Wow, wow, doing way more damage than what I thought it would. And we see an Ice Beam come out from the Porygon 2, which we are able to take because of those snarls, and we get a curse off. So, right, okay. So, I've got a feeling the Garchomp will probably protect or switch out, and my opponent's Arcanine to come in. But because we're faster, I don't want to switch out at this point, because we'll switch out first and we'll not get the Intimidate onto the incoming Arcanine, which is the problem. So I think what I'm going to do is just go for a Dragon Claw. We potentially will lose our... I'm just going to go for another Curse as well, actually, here, rather than go for the Recycle at this point. So we do just get the Dragon Claw off onto the opposing Garchomp, clear that off the field, and we do go down to the Rough Skim damage. See what this Porygon 2 goes for here. Just another Tri Attack. And we get another Curse off. Right. So I'm hoping, with an Intimidate as well, we should be able to survive a potential close combat. We're +2 defense, so with the Intimidate, it's kind of boosting that a bit more. So we should be able to take whatever this opposing Arcanine kind of wants to throw at us. So if we can get a Recycle off here, we should be looking good. Should be. So I'm just going to go for a Snarl. Just keep chipping down that Porygon 2. We know it hasn't got Recover, so we don't need to worry about it too much. And go for a Recycle with my Snorlax. So we get the Snarl off first. And what's this opposing Arcanine going to do? Close combat. Okay, yeah. Yeah, and because of those curses and the Intimidate, we are able to take that. Hopefully we've got enough in the tank to take whatever this Porygon 2 throws at us. Oh no! Terrible, terrible. So we should have really, yeah, not ideal at all. Okay. Now we know my opponent is locked into close combat here. I'm just going to have to go for a Flare Blitz into it, really. Hopefully it should do decent enough damage. It has had a defense drop as well. It's not going to do too much at all. No, I don't think we're going to be able to win this one. Now, we needed the Snorlax to kind of hold on there, survive, get the Recycle off. Just a bit unfortunate. So our Berry does proc here. And we just see a Tri Attack come up from my opponent's Porygon 2. I'm going to go for a Snarl here, because I want an additional drop on that Arcanine from the close combat. We should be able to take a close combat and whatever the Porygon throws at us, pending any critical hits, and then we'll be able to pick up the kill on the Arcanine and then kind of work on that Porygon 2. Wow, it's still doing so much damage. see what this try attack does. No, critical hit. Oh, come on. Okay, it would have been very close either way, but it's a bit disappointing, isn't it? Never mind. Yeah, I think we needed, rather than go... The thing is, if I'd went for a recycle, the turn I went for the second curse, then we might not have had the defenses to actually take the close combat from the Arcanine in the first place. So it didn't seem to matter what we were doing with the Arcanine. The Snarls weren't doing enough work there with the Arcanine and that Porygon too, and we should have really probably looked at taking that down a lot sooner than we did. And I don't know, maybe the Snorlax there wasn't the best shout. But we'll not worry about that too much, guys. It's a bit disappointing, but we'll move into the next game, see if we can kind of improve on that, because that wasn't the best. We took very good control early game and then kind of just let the game kind of slip out of our fingers towards the end there, and that's an important thing to remember, not to kind of get complacent at any point through the game. Even if you've started to take a really good advantage of the game, then you've got to kind of keep on top of that and keep the pressure up and keep making the right plays, because you just otherwise letting your opponent into the game, and you can see that sort of thing happens. So with the end of that, we have our next opponent, and they are running a team of Tapu Fini, Arcanine, Garchomp, Celesteela, Nihilego and Snorlax. So the Nihilego is going to be very threatening to us straight away, especially if we lead anything like Tapu Lele, Arcanine, Tapu Lele, Driblim. It's going to threaten all three of those with its stab attacks, so we need to be very, very careful for that. Very tempted to lead Celesteela here. I think I might lead Celesteela, Arcanine. Or Celesteela, Garchomp even isn't a bad shout. No. Yeah, I'm gonna bring Garchomp. Actually, if we see the Finny, I'd rather have the option to Snarl. So I will go Arcanine, Celesteela, Garchomp and Lele in the back. And let's hopefully not get tripped up this game. Yeah. As long as we can take care of the Nihilego. We've got to be careful as well, because that Snorlax being a presence on my opponent's team, there's every chance that that Nihilego could have could potentially have Trick Room as well to take advantage of that Snorlax. So, see my opponent lead off with that Tapu Fini and the Snorlax. We'll get an Intimidate off with our Arcanine, and we've got the Celesteela lead as well. So, what are we going to do? Now we've got a nice option here where we could go for a Will-O-Wisp into that Snorlax slot and switch in our Tapu Lele for our Celesteela, so we change the terrain so we can get that Will-O-Wisp off. But then, is that a bit too obvious? And my opponent could just go for Muddy Water or Calm Mind with that Tapu Fini. But I do want to get a Will-O-Wisp onto that Snorlax. So I think... yeah, I'm going to go for that. Tapu Lele. Click in. Thinking about it too long. I've timed out, so we're not going to get the Will-O-Wisp. We're going to get the Flare Blitz, and it's going to be into that Snorlax, which isn't ideal, to be honest, at all, because it could potentially just switch out, like we were saying, into the Arcanine, which wouldn't make any difference, but Snorlax doesn't switch out. So, timing out there. And we target the Tapu Fini, of all things to target, which is ideal, isn't it? So, we just see a taunt come out from the Tapu Fini into my Tapu Lele, and we'll see the Snorlax go for a Belly Drum. So, It's not the worst situation in the world though, because we can't just Flare Blitz and Shattered Psychic, and because we've got the Psychic terrain up, that should be enough to actually take the Snorlax out. So I'm just going to go for that, to be honest. Yep. Unless the Snorlax has Protect, and then things could get a bit tricky. But we see the Tapu Fini withdraw here, and the Arcanine come out. So just to get that Intimidate off onto my Arcanine. But I am hoping that we've still got enough to kind of do some decent enough damage to this Snorlax and take it down. Oh, it's going to be very close. But because of the Psychic terrain, we might be able to pick up the KO here. Depends how bulky this Snorlax is. Let's see if Tapu Lele's got the power. I'm feeling confident. I think it will take it out. Pinging around the hugest Snorlax in the Psychic. Yeah, so yeah, that's enough. So we get rid of the big threat there straight away, so that's quite nice. We'll probably see the Tapu Fini come back in on my opponent's other side of the field now. But it is the Garchomp, okay. So... I'm just going to go for a Moonblast into the Garchomp, and I'm going to switch out my Arcanine into my Celesteela. I can't imagine a Fire-type attack coming into my Arcanine at this point in the game, so should be safe doing that. So at least we've got the Intimidate in the back to bring in and take advantage of later in the game. We do see a Tectonic Rage is coming out from this Garchomp, and it's probably into the Tapu Lele, to be honest. Because the Arcanine at this point isn't so much of a threat to my opponent. Yeah, so it is into the Lele. So Lele will go down to this. And hopefully my opponent hasn't doubled into that Lele slot with a Flare Blitz as well, because then we're going to lose our Celesteela as well. Yeah. Excellent. Excellent. Oh, what a bad switch. So yeah, I imagine my opponent there probably has double targeted into the Lele. But maybe not as well. So we're down to our last two Pokemon, and we've got a mountain to climb now. But that Garchomp has burnt its Tectonic Rage. But we have got a few issues because we can't freely just Earthquake next to our Arcanine. So what we're going to do. And the thing is, if I Dragon Claw at this point into that Garchomp, my opponent could switch in his Tapu Fini. So it will neuter the power of the Dragon Claw. So I think I'm just going to go for an Earthquake with my Garchomp. Actually, should I go for a Rock Slide and a Will-O-Wisp? Oh no, because of the Will-O-Wisp. Yeah, the thing is, there's no point in going for a Will-O-Wisp at this point, because my opponent can just bring in that Tapu Fini to kind of nullify the... and we see the Garchomp switch out here. So yeah, in comes the Tapu Fini. We'll get the Misty Terrain up again. So it's going to be interesting to see how much this Earthquake does to the opposing Arcanine. Depending on how it's been trained, we may be able to take it out. So we do get the Earthquake off. If we can take this Arcanine out now, this will make things a lot easier for us. Yeah, so we take down the Arcanine. That Tapu Fini is now should be in Poison Jab range as well. But our job is got a lot harder to take down the opposing Garchomp, because we can't Will-O-Wisp it. And our Dragon Claw is not going to be doing very much damage at all. So here I think... what's my opponent going to do? Is he going to go for a Protect with the Tapu Fini? I'm going to go Snarl just to get some chip onto this Finny. The Poison Jab might just take it, but it does protect. So probably seeing an Earthquake come out from the opposing Garchomp here. Yeah. Yeah. So this is going to proc my Arcanine's Berry. But we are now in Earthquake range from this Garchomp. Not ideal, not ideal. We've been really punished for that switch in from the Arcanine to the Celesteela. And then the double up. Or whatever it was. Yeah, so I don't think we're going to actually win this one, guys. It's a bit... Got to kind of hope that a Poison Jab is enough. I'm really thinking now that it's maybe not enough to take out this Tapu Fini. Yeah, so I'm just going to double into the Tapu Fini to make sure that we do take it down. Did you see another Earthquake come out from the Garchomp? Yeah. So lose our Arcanine. Poison Jab. It would have been better off protecting the Arcanine. Because now that Earthquake's it's a single target. And it probably is enough to take down our Garchomp. Yeah, definitely enough to take down our Garchomp. So we need some ridiculous... I wonder if we're... thing I could do is go for a Rock Slide. Hope that we are kind of speed tying. I don't think we are though. Get a flinch and try and outlast this Misty Rain enough time to get a Dragon Claw. I think I'm just going to have to do that. Yeah, and no speed tie, so we do just lose. My opponent able to clean up with the Garchomp. So, good game to my opponent there. Very disappointing. Not very good at all, but it happens sometimes. I think it'd be good to kind of just look back on these couple of games. Like the first game, maybe the Snorlax, we were forcing it, talking about bringing it to games, and it may probably not have been the best call there. The Choice Banded Arcanine just proved a bit too much for us in that situation right at the end game, and we didn't have quite enough in the tank to kind of get that last recycle off that we needed. If we got that off, it would have made such a difference to the end game. We may have been able to turn things around there. And then this game now, then the double switch there. We should have just protected the Tapu Lele, knowing that the thing is with these potential Sword Dance Garchomps that you see now, it really scares me with protecting or switching in front of them. So that's why I'm more inclined at the minute, and I probably shouldn't be. I should be thinking more along the lines of, if it doesn't Swords Dance and it just goes for the Tech Rage like it did, and then it puts me in such a bad position taking it, because we can't take, we can take it at -1, but not if it's not being intimidated. So we weren't in that situation, so I should have probably protected and switched out, and we may have taken a Flare Blitz into our Celesteela anyway from the opposing Arcanine, but then at least the next turn we would have had our Arcanine to bring in, get the Intimidate off, and then we would have been able to fire off either a Moonblast into the Garchomp or Psychics into that Arcanine. So it would have made it a bit different, and we wouldn't have lost 2 Pokemon just down in one shot so freely. And I think that's really what cost us in that game, and it was a bit of a struggle to get any momentum back after that. So that's the way it goes sometimes. Bit disappointing for you guys, and I'm sorry about that. But if you have enjoyed this episode, guys, please leave a like on this video. It's massively appreciated. All the support is massively appreciated, like you guys are. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do subscribe to the channel, because you'll get all the daily updates for when the School of Hard Knocks comes out. You'll get the daily updates for when QR code series. We'll be back with another one of those tomorrow, and the team review episodes as well, and other things on top of that. So do subscribe, do like the videos. It is massively appreciated, like I keep saying, sorry, and we'll call it a day there, guys. Go away, enjoy the rest of the evenings, and we will come back stronger tomorrow, thinking about what's happened today. So just some good lessons learned, I think, and yeah, just we can always take a lot away from losing and things like that. So sometimes it's better to kind of, it doesn't sound or make sense really, but you get a lot more from losing battles than you do from winning them. So that's what you've got to remember, and you've got to take what you can from losing those battles, and that's what makes you better and stronger, and able to kind of move on and forward. Can't dwell on losses and things like that. You've got to just keep plugging away and improving, and that's what it's all about. So if you take anything away from that episode, take that little hint of advice, because that will set you a long way in your successful road to being a Pokemon master. But yeah, we'll leave it there, guys. So until tomorrow, go away, have a great night, take care of yourselves, whatever you're doing, and until then, I will see you then. So bye bye.